Very good morning to all of you. Deputy Principal of the Royal College, other senior staff members and teachers, teacher in charge of the Royal College Computer Society, other distinguished guests, panelists of the sessions, the colleagues from the ICTA and the sponsors, chairman and key officials of the Royal College Computer Society, teachers in charge of the invitee schools, dear sons and daughters. First of all, let me thank RCCS for organizing AXIS 2025, the first ever ICT convention organized by a Sri Lankan school, and extending me an invitation to attend as the chief guest at this society's flagship event this year. The name itself, AXIS, means the strength, the backbone, the solid foundation for many things. So therefore, I congratulate for selecting this very name for the very important event. I am more than happy to witness the high standards associated with this grand event with wider stakeholder participation, including of the private sector and entrepreneurial development. Indeed, this is the month of digital economy declared by His Excellency the President as the Minister in charge of digital economy, and we have so many events lined up throughout this month. I think our colleague Sachindra Samaratna from ICTA will elaborate them in his lengthy speech. You would agree with me on the very fact that Sri Lanka as a nation lost many opportunities in the past few decades due to various reasons, whereas some countries could harness the benefit of emerging revolution known as Industry 4.0. While the global population still depends on the innovations stemming from the early industrial era, such as steam engine, electricity, basic telephony, telecommunication, printing, transportation, including air travel, the unavoidable interventions of the information technology, and the new wave of amalgamation of artificial intelligence and other modern technologies have drastically transformed the world we live in. More you innovate in the digital domain, it would open up doors to broaden towards more economic avenues. The innovation means someone's ability to think out of box and to apply them on resolving a present or future issue, as correctly mentioned by the President and the compeers of this event. A unique creation that resolves a societal or market demand can end up as a unique brand name, sometimes a global patent, which will provide you high returns as sometimes as royalty or sometimes as dividends or some other means. What is important is its roots in Sri Lanka. So every time you go to the global market, the same as you know, Ceylon tea or cricket or some other branding, the branding of IT or digitalization sector really matters if it is connected with our own country. Some of Sri Lankan companies have got high demands in millions of dollars for their knowledge products, although they started at very small scale startups. That is how some of the global brands in US and some other countries came their journey from small starts. However, let me explain briefly Sri Lanka's rankings in the Global Innovation Index, known as GII if abbreviated. Currently, as of 2024, it stands at 89th position in the world. The index is a composite of 7 areas. 1, infrastructure. 2nd, knowledge and technology outputs. 3rd, creative outputs. The rest includes business sophistication, institutions, market sophistication, and human capital and research. Although Sri Lanka stands at 66th position in infrastructure, we are not that good at other areas. For example, market sophistication and human capital and research. That's why we have been pushed backwards in this Global Innovation Index. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear sons and daughters, successive governments of the past 2 decades have made several efforts to overcome the challenge in the digitalization through various policy and strategic inputs. There were multiple potentials for socio-economic development. Some have got results, some faced various constraints, including of digital identity, many digital information infrastructure, digital literacy alone. It stands at 63% as of the moment. We have a long journey to move to get the best out of this digitalization journey. If the country is going to become a global hub or regional hub for digital innovation or entrepreneurship, what we have to do is to unlock many potentials in your minds, including of the risk-taking ability, where you have to take this challenge and to convince your peers as well as your parents and teachers if you are going to select a career path of IT entrepreneurship. We, as a government, has outlined the digital economy blueprint, whereas we found that the recent economic challenges were due to some of the traditional approaches. Therefore, we have to leapfrog towards new avenues and come with innovative solutions that can create more revenue to the economy through digital avenues. The key objectives will be making the IT industry a $5 billion industry in 6 years. According to a study, the 2024 figure stands that Sri Lanka's digital economy, that is IT industry alone and exports, is just $1.35 million. That is less than 3% of country's GDP. It's around 2.7%. This is the challenge we are going to address. Along with that, implementing e-governance to reduce corruption and increasing cashless transactions from nearly $3.5 billion to $15 billion is another target. You may have seen the current government's effort to engage citizens with cashless payments through new applications called 괁ᴏ, which has surpassed over 100 institutions at the moment. The other challenge is the number game. The ever-growing human resource challenge in the IT industry. Due to brain drain and other reasons, we are still struggling to meet up with the required number of professionals, IT professionals and other technology experts for this domain. Currently, we have only around 85,000 graduates annually, whereas the demand is nearly 200,000. So we are going to reach that target in 6 years' time through the digital economy strategy. Since AI is the main global focus at this moment and a definite game changer, the government has well recognized it by way of a strategic plan as well as through various partnerships. For example, the Ministry of Digital Economy recently signed a memorandum of understanding with one of the global giants in AI, that is AI Singapore, whereas Sri Lanka will benefit through various interventions in knowledge transfer, capacity building, research, and skill enhancement with this prominent engagement during the next 2 years. In this context, as students and the human resources of the country's future, you can see there is a great opportunity for all of us to harness. Even if you do not opt for direct employment in the IT workforce or digitalization, your prospective future career would not be far away from any forms of digital technologies. We, as the government, will facilitate the other stakeholders, industry and academia to achieve these goals, including of reforms in the education system, strengthening the IT infrastructure of the school system, whereas the government has appointed a special task force by the Prime Minister to bridge the resource gap, including of teacher shortage, as well as the content for all forms of education to reach out to the masses in the periphery, including rural villages. Therefore, digitalization or AI or any other form should not be another barrier to divide the societies and communities, and that's why the digital economy strategy has special focus on making it an inclusive journey. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge for the sons and daughters today is the leadership. I am witnessing here a clear leadership through the school computer societies, not only of the Royal College and others in Colombo or the Western Province, but all over the country there's an enthusiasm to gather around IT societies, AI societies, to experience as well as to contribute their knowledge to the digital industry as well as the digital education. This college itself has created many profound, under its profound traditions, many leaders in the business sector, academia and the government, whereas they are also contributing to the government's vision of making a digital savvy nation. If Sri Lanka as a nation can focus intensively in this area, it would open up broad opportunities in diverse fields of digitalization. Hence, I invite you to join hands to set a solid foundation for facing the competition in the global arena, as well as bringing the competition to your own domains, your own schools, as well as the education system. Then the new innovation will help making Sri Lanka a better nation through digital economy. While thanking the principal, the deputy principal, and the leadership of RCCS, I wish today's sessions are fruitful and create more partnerships with other schools, industry, and other entities. Thank you very much and wish you a great day.